I had nights where I slept in my car so that I wouldn't be late. I had nights where I couldn't sleep, especially on the weekends where I couldn't sleep, waking up like, did I miss something? Panicking, hypervigilant, literally. So I started drinking to go to sleep. And then I would wake up because it's a cycle. I wake up and I'm still tired. And by the end of the night, what do I need? Another drink. You have to be twice as good to get half of what they get. I'm sure if you're black, you have heard this phrase before. But some of y'all may have heard it since y'all been a child. But I'm here to say that sometimes when you are preached that, when that is preached to you, excellence isn't a goal. Excellence is a survival strategy. Let's talk about it. So I did ROTC. In an ROTC, the first day we had a PT test. PT test is where we have to run in 2 miles. We have to do, at that time, we did push ups and we did sit ups. It's changed now. But on my run time, I got 15 minutes and 34 seconds for 2 miles. I did 50 push ups and I did 78 sit ups, I believe. And afterwards, I got to talk to. I got a conversation. Somebody came and talked to me. They said, you're the first African American in this program and you're a female. I said, okay. They said, so you got to be twice as good, better than everybody else. Okay. And you can't do what the white girls with the blonde hair and the Asian girls, you can't do what they do. If they come here 10 minutes early, you got to be here at least 30 minutes early. Okay. Okay. Uh, okay. Um, and I think what that person meant to do, I think he thought it was going to be helpful. But for me, it was the opposite. And I know most people coming from North Carolina, they think, oh, you definitely experienced racism. But believe it or not, I didn't experience racism until I moved to California and did ROTC. So I took what he said and I strive to be twice as good at everything. That's getting there early, 30 minutes of, if we had to be there at 5, I was there at 4:30. That means making sure that in classes, I spoke, I raised my hand, I had the answers to everything. I turned my homework in on time. That means also when it was time to go and do outside woodsy stuff. Me being a girly girl was a little hard, but I was learning how to do the maps and find those points and all those good things. But it also did something else to me. It created this level of anxiety that whenever I was late, I was the one that was chastised, even though everybody else may have gotten a conversation, but it wasn't a write up. It wasn't nothing that can be left on their record. So to cut to the chase, the story, what I did, I had nights where I slept in my car so that I wouldn't be late. I had nights where I couldn't sleep, especially on the weekends where I couldn't sleep, waking up like, did I miss something? Panicking, hyper vigilant, literally. So I started drinking to go to sleep. And then I would wake up because it's a cycle. I wake up and I'm still tired. And by the end of the night, what do I need? Another drink. And so we can easily get stuck into these maladaptive coping skills, thinking that we need to do these certain things in order to survive in these programs, to be excellent in these programs. When excellence, a lot of times, how they're feeding it to us, not even excellence, is perfectionism, which is just a mind trap in itself. So, I want to talk about how do you heal from this we got to be twice as good narrative that has been basically forced on us, not just by white individuals, but even people that look like us, to the point where it's like, this is a reality, when in reality is really not. So, one, excellence is not your identity. Excellence is a tool. You try to do everything in excellence. That doesn't mean you won't make mistakes. That doesn't mean that it's going to be perfect. It means you are doing your best to be the best version of you. Two, the cost of high functioning anxiety. I think a lot of us, because we are able to still function, we think that there's nothing wrong, or I'll be okay. I'm just feeling a little nervous, or I just have this knot in my stomach. Like before a PT test, I used to literally have to go to the bathroom because I had one of anxiety, like literally. Like if I don't get this 15 minutes, they might kick me out the program. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like I don't know. Um, but high functioning anxiety is another survival mechanism that you learn. Like, I just have to get all this done by any means necessary. You kind of ignore your feelings at times just to make it through the day. You stay busy just to make it through the day. You're always on go, go, go. You're always on. And sometimes with high functioning anxiety, it is I need to give myself permission to rest. I need to give myself the gift of resting, not just busyness, so that I can appear to be successful or excellent at what I'm doing. Um, Lastly, reclaim and give yourself permission to be. That you don't always have to be on every single day, every moment of the day. It's exhausting and draining for me just to say that. Like to be on 24/7, like I can't rest. I can't just be myself and let my hair down at all. I always have to be appeasing and palatable for you. Like, so you gotta let that go. So the cycle of functioning sedation, because I talked about alcohol, and I think there's many of us that can relate to that. So let's talk about the cycle of sedation, because I know a lot of us, we are used to grabbing the bottle or even rolling up that good old Mary Jane, going to the gas station. So let's talk about the off switch, which is this illusion that if I drink my drink or roll up my stuff, I don't have to deal with all the things that are bothering me. I don't have to worry about the pressures. I don't have to worry about who sees what or think about what's going to happen tomorrow. That I could just finally sleep. But while yes, you can sleep, but because you don't get that deep REM sleep that's needed, you wake up the next morning just as tired. And when you're tired, you're trying to your body literally is on overdrive trying to compensate and do all the things you need to do in that day, especially when you're very ambitious, when you have a lot to do in a day. Your body is trying to compensate to do all those things to the point where by nighttime you're just as tired as if you never slept. And then what do? Back to the refrigerator for tequila. I think I need to, well, never mind. So the thing about alcohol is your central nervous system depressant. So while you think that you are drinking to release all the pressures, what you're really doing is getting yourself into a spiral, a cycle of becoming depressed. So what's the other thing to do? Because really, that's just nothing but psychological betrayal. So let's think about it. Let's actually name the need. So it wasn't the alcohol that I need. It wasn't the sleeping in the car in order to be on time. I needed grace at that moment. I needed the ability to have the same type of expectations, the same standards that my white counterpart had, that the Asian girls and males had. That's what I needed. I needed someone in that office, the cadre, the people that's over the cadets, RTC cadets, to be on my side, to want me to succeed. That's what I needed. Um, but I also need to feel safe. I need to feel safe enough to rest. I need to feel safe enough to be safe enough to perform in a way that was not their best, but my best. And I imagine that some of you need that too. You need a space where you feel safe enough to rest, where you feel safe enough to perform your best. So give yourself that permission. Find that safety for yourself. The other thing I want to add in here is somatic downshifting. So somatic downshifting is really focusing on your breath. One of the things that I like to do is 4 by 4 by 4. So I breathe in for 4, I hold for 4, and I exhale for 4. Another thing that I do is I will do 2 quick breaths in, and a long exhale, because that kind of breathing triggers to your brain that you are safe. It allows your brain to speak to your body to calm down your heart rate. And when you do that, your nervous system begins to say, okay, we are safe, we are okay. You stop hyperventilating, you stop intentionally stop holding your breath if that's what you're doing, so that you can do the things you need to do throughout the day. Now, it may take a couple of times to work, because a lot of people are like, it doesn't work for me. You have to do it more than once. It's going to take some time. The other thing that I did that I want to share is I bought a weighted blanket. That weighted blanket I slept with. When we left on the road, I took it on the road with us. Like, it was with me wherever I need to sleep. That weighted blanket was with me, because it helps naturally just calm your body down without the alcohol, without the TV, without the drugs, without any of it. Utilizing a weighted blanket. Um, so you cannot sedate what you cannot sedate your way out of healing. If you want to heal, is not from not feeling or not thinking. It's about honoring your being, whether you are sober, whether you're tired, just all of the honest parts of you, and understanding that that is the part of you that is exclusively you. If you like this episode, please like, share, comment, subscribe for more, and I will see y'all next week.